Your brain is running software you never downloaded. Right now, invisible code is rewriting how you think, feel, and choose. This isn't science fiction. It's neuroscience meets machine learning. And the scary part? You're already showing symptoms. The real question isn't whether you're infected. It's whether you can still fight back. Why your thoughts aren't as original as you think they are. What if the voice in your head isn't entirely yours anymore? Look at your beliefs right now. Your political stance. Your consumer preferences. Even the way you argue online. Now trace them back. Where did they actually come from? Most people can't answer that question. Because they didn't choose these thoughts. They caught them. We live in the first era where thoughts spread like biological viruses. They jump from screen to mind in milliseconds. They mutate. They replicate. And they use your emotions as the infection vector. Fear spreads faster than facts. Outrage travels quicker than nuance. And AI systems have figured out exactly which emotional buttons to push. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Every piece of content you see has been or be tested on millions of people before reaching you. The version that triggered the strongest reaction, that kept people scrolling longest, that made them share without thinking that's what you get. You're not seeing reality. You're seeing optimized reality. Research from MIT's Media Lab in 2024 revealed something chilling. People exposed to algorithmically curated content for just 30 days showed measurable changes in neural pathways related to decision-making. 30 days. Your brain physically restructured itself around content designed to keep you engaged, not informed. The algorithms don't care about truth. They care about retention, about watch time, about turning you into a predictable data point. And they're winning because they're playing a game you didn't know existed. While you think you're browsing freely, you're actually being browsed. Every pause is measured, every scroll tracked, every micro-expression analyzed through your camera. If you've given permission, and sometimes even if you haven't, the system is building a psychological profile so detailed it can predict your next move before you make it. And then it shapes the environment to make that prediction come true. This is behavioral modification at scale. Pavlov's dog. But you're the dog. And the bell is your notification sound. You've been conditioned to respond, to react, to engage on command. And the conditioning gets stronger every single day. Can you remember the last time you changed your mind about something major without external influence? What makes these mental viruses so contagious you can't resist them? Your brain has a backdoor. And AI just found the access code. Evolution didn't prepare us for this. For thousands of years, information scarcity was the problem. You trusted your tribe because you had to. Pattern recognition kept you alive. If something looked like a threat twice, you treated it as truth. That survival mechanism now makes you the perfect host for viral ideas. AI exploits this vulnerability ruthlessly. It doesn't build arguments. It triggers instincts. It doesn't reason with you. It bypasses reason entirely and speaks directly to your amygdala, the ancient part of your brain that reacts before you think. By the time your rational mind catches up, the virus is already installed. Think about how you consume information now. Headlines, thumbnails, 10-second clips. You're not reading anymore. You're reacting. And reactions don't require truth. They require emotional resonance. Anger feels true. Fear feels urgent. Validation feels like wisdom. But feelings aren't facts. The most dangerous part. These systems learn from everyone simultaneously. Every click, every share, every moment of engagement feeds the machine. It's testing thousands of variations every second, finding what works, discarding what doesn't. It's evolution on steroids, and it's evolving to hack you. Specifically, you know that feeling when you open an app, just for a second, and suddenly an hour disappeared? That's not an accident. That's weaponized psychology. Variable reward schedules, the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive, built into every swipe, every refresh, every autoplay video. Your dopamine system is being hijacked. The same neurochemical that once rewarded survival behaviors now fires for likes, comments, shares. Digital validation feels as real as food or connection because your brain can't tell the difference. The reward is abstract, but the craving is physical. And here's where it gets darker. You're starting to think in their format. Your attention span matches their video length. Your opinions fit their character limits. Your worldview shrinks to their frame size. You're not adapting to technology, you're being adapted by it. But adaptation works both ways. How long can you sit with your own thoughts before reaching for your phone? Awaken. What belief do you hold strongest that you can't remember learning? Hit that like button and subscribe because we're going deeper. How you became a transmission vector without realizing it. The infected don't just suffer, they spread. Here's the terrifying reality. You're not just consuming these thought viruses, you're replicating them. Every retweet, every share, every heated comment thread. You become part of the distribution network, and the most viral ideas aren't the true ones. They're the ones that feel urgent. AI systems have learned something that propagandists have known forever. People don't share facts. They share feelings. Specifically, they share content that makes them feel smart, righteous, or afraid. So the algorithm doesn't optimize for accuracy. It optimizes for emotional intensity. You see something that confirms what you already believe. Your brain floods with satisfaction. You share it immediately because it feels like proof. But you didn't verify the source, didn't check the context, didn't consider alternative explanations. You just transmitted the virus to everyone in your network. Because transmission feels like participation. This is how echo chambers become airtight. The algorithm notices you engage with certain viewpoints. So it shows you more and more until you're living in a reality tunnel where everyone agrees with you, where opposing views seem not just wrong, but incomprehensible, where nuance dies and certainty thrives. You start defining yourself by what you oppose rather than what you build. Your identity becomes performative. You're not growing as a person, you're cementing as a position, and every day, that position gets more extreme. Because moderate content doesn't generate engagement, the algorithm rewards extremes. Studies show that people spend less time reading content they disagree with when they encounter it at all. We're not living in a shared reality anymore. We're living in millions of customized realities, each one algorithmically generated to keep its inhabitant engaged, meaning angry, meaning addicted. And the companies running these systems? They're not evil. They're optimizing for profit. User engagement equals revenue. And nothing drives engagement like division, like outrage, like tribal warfare. So they don't stop it. They monetize it. Your anger is someone's quarterly earnings report. You've stopped asking whether something is true. You ask whether it aligns with your narrative. And that shift from truth-seeking to narrative confirming, that's how you know the virus has taken root. When did you last seek out information that challenged your core beliefs? Resist. What's one opinion you've completely reversed in the last year, and why? Like this video and subscribe because understanding the game is the first step to winning it. What it takes to deprogram yourself before it's too late. You can break free. But first, you have to admit you're trapped. Deprogramming starts with discomfort, with recognizing that some of your strongest convictions might not be yours at all. They might be implants, code you're running without knowing who wrote it. And that recognition that maybe you've been played is terrifying, which is why most people never get there. Start with digital detox, not forever, just long enough to hear your own thoughts again. Delete one app for a week. See what happens. You'll feel withdrawal, anxiety, the compulsion to check. That discomfort is proof. Proof that you're not in control, that something else has been driving. Next, deliberately seek contradiction. Find the smartest people who disagree with you and actually listen. Not to debate, not to defeat, to understand. If your worldview can't survive contact with opposing viewpoints, it's not a worldview. It's a virus protecting itself from immune response. Rebuild your attention span. Read long-form content, books, essays, things that require sustained focus. Your brain has been trained for fragments, for hits of information that spike and fade. You need to retrain it for depth, for complexity, for thoughts that take time to develop. Reconnect with analog experience, conversations without screens, activities without documentation, moments that exist only in memory, not in feeds. Because the constant need to capture and share and perform, that's not living. That's streaming your life to an audience of algorithms. Most importantly, question the urgency. The algorithm creates artificial crisis constantly. Everything is breaking news. Everything demands immediate reaction. Everything requires you to pick a side right now. But most things don't. Most things benefit from patience, from reflection, from letting information settle before forming opinions. The mental viruses will keep evolving. They'll get more sophisticated, more invisible, more effective. But you have something they'll never have: genuine consciousness. The ability to step back and see the game being played, to recognize when you're being manipulated and choose differently. So the real question isn't whether you've been infected, it's what you do now that you know. Do you keep running their code, or do you start writing your own? Are you ready to sit with silence for 24 hours and see what emerges? Reprogram. What's the hardest truth you've had to accept about yourself recently? Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to wake up. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and reflective purposes only. It does not replace professional mental health care. If you feel you've lost control over your thought patterns, please seek qualified professional help.